Guys, it's Doc here. I just wanted to do a short little review on the Spectre issue 14 by J.M. DeMatteis and Craig Hamilton. So let's get started. Okay, so this has got a cover by Ryan Sook, who was the series artist to begin with, and he had now moved on. So issue 14 is now penciled by Craig Hamilton. Craig Hamilton's other big claim to fame was one of the Emerald Knight issues. I believe issue 49, if I remember correctly. Okay, so we're going to go into the Silver Room. If I can ever get the copy open. So the Spectre is hanging out over the city. And he's just watching as a silver tower that looks like a rook, or a standalone castle is being built. And the Silver Room is the story of Jonah. He says, "This is my tale." So it's J.M. DeMatteis, Craig Hamilton, and Jim Royal as the inker. So Jonah goes on to tell the story of how he came to be in the Silver Room, how he came to be the character and in his eyes, the animal that he was. He was just a normal guy who apparently fell in with a vampire. But instead of dying, he woke up and became one himself. And here's where the humanity that Jonah retains shows. He sees this lady, he decides he's going to bite her, and he says that he feels the exulting in the killing. But then after that, I looked down on her. Another faceless drone, another meaningless existence. And yet deep in her eyes, I could see, or I imagined that I could, the fading radiance of her secret life. So with mercy and tenderness, he chose to kill her and break her neck so that she would not turn as he did, because it was not really his choice. He just happened to take the wrong woman home one night. But he found that as a vampire, he couldn't die, he couldn't commit suicide. And at the end, he tries to use a razor blade, and he says, but suicide, of course, is impossible when you're already dead. And look at the pain that Craig Hamilton and Jim Royal show on the face of Jonah. He even goes to the church and asks for absolution from the priest. The priest doesn't believe him. He stands outside the church. But it doesn't kill him. It burns him, but it doesn't kill him. So he chooses to amass a fortune and build a silver tower where he could be locked away from everybody forever. The temptation will still be there, but the ability to get out and choose victims and hurt people and destroy other people's lives, just as his was destroyed, is no longer an option. Gun Valkyrie, I hadn't seen an ad for that in a while. So as he sits there and ruminates on his life choices, he says, I see that poor woman dying, and I see her die again and again, over and over and over. Each time I reach for a different ending, for a touch of grace, of hope, of redemption, but that will never come. And it never will. Until Hal Jordan, the Spectre, the spirit of redemption, shows up. And he says, you underestimate the one who created you, Jonah, and you underestimate yourself. Come forth, Jonah, into the light. His soul steps free. He says, you've released me from that shroud of flesh. You've delivered my soul, and I can't accept this gift. Because I'm unworthy, I deserve the pit. The Spectre says, haven't you sealed yourself in a hell of silver, tortured and tormented by the devils of your own mind for all these years? God offered you that gift that night in that church, but you couldn't hear his voice. Will you do it again, refuse him and refuse me? And he says, but the girl, I killed her. And the Spectre says, which girl, the one you killed or the one you save? You weep for her, Jonah, as she weeps for you. You weep, and she weeps, because you punish yourself for an act which she forgave long ago. And if she's forgiven you, isn't it long past time that you forgive yourself? And in a quite touching moment, they raise together into the afterlife and into the ever after peace that Jonah had been searching for all those years. Leaving nothing but just that red tear. It's a stone that he had shed. I think the Madison Company did really thoughtful issues and tackled morality tales. It gave DeMatteis and Company a chance to really look at why is it that people do the things that they do, and why do they punish themselves over and over for things that have already come to pass and they should have already flagellated themselves and moved on. But instead they choose to linger, and their brain chooses to linger. It's kind of like the group I taught with my patients today, and I was explaining to them that negative thoughts and intrusive thoughts are kind of like a NASCAR track. They just circle and circle and circle. And until you get it out, either in group and talking to other patients, talking to other addicts, talking to other people that struggle, until you get that out, you journal it, you write it down, you rap it out, whatever form you choose. Once you let go of that pain, let go of that hurt, let go of that suffering that came along with it, and stop tormenting yourself for something that you should have given up on a long time ago. So if you like comics at all, I would really check this series out. I would check this issue out. The whole book ran for 27 issues. Ryan Sook only stayed on it for the first 13 issues. I think he had one fill-in that 13-issue time. And then he left and moved on. And then they had a fill-in issue with Hamilton this issue. And then Norm Brayfogle came on with issue 15 and stayed on for the next year. So, thanks again for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, please give me a like and a comment down below. And subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your watching. And I hope you enjoy it.